Welcome to another Manitowoc Garage video. In this session we are going to show the MLC100-1 and MLC150-1 drum tree free spooling option. As of 2021, Manitowoc Cranes is now offering a free spool option for drum tree on the MLC100-1 and on the MLC150-1. The free spool is a specially designed option for the pile driving market applications. This free spool system allows drum tree load line to be attached to the pile in a pile driving application and have it automatically pay out as the pile is driven into the ground. This system monitors motion and, in the event of a pile running, it will modulate the free spool valve to slow down drum tree and by that preventing motor overspeed. Like free-fall operation, Free-Spool can be turned on and off as necessary and is also possible to adjust the drum slip settings. This video identifies the location and function of the components Manitowoc has provided for the free-spooling drum tree system on your MLC100-1 Manitowoc crane. Note that this option can be also added on your existing MLC100-1 and ordered as an option on the new MLC150-1 crawler. The free spool option is intended to allow drum tree to be attached to the pile in a pile driving application. It will automatically pay out cable as the pile is driven into the ground. Here we have a detail of the operator screen for enabling the free spool. On item 1, show what is the drum selected for a hammer, drum 1 or drum 2. Item 2, the free spool fault display. If we have a fault preventing the free spool to operate, it will be shown here. Item 3, the selections for the free spool enable on top and disable on bottom. Item 4, the slip setting box where can be adjusted the slip amounts for the free spool. And item 5, where we can check if the free spool is enabled or activated condition. Caution: equipment failure hazard. On the MLC100-1, the system is limited to a total weight of 14,000 pounds or 6,350 kilograms. On the MLC150-1, the system is limited to a total weight of 20,000 pounds or 9,070 kilograms. That total weight includes the pile, hammer, and all rigging. Failure to observe this limitation could result in hydraulic motor failure. All rigging holding the pile must be rated for the total weight of the hammer and pile. For more information, please consult the folio F2334. Crane Control System CCS for the free spool consists of two modes, enabled and active. With the addition of the free spool feature, the main operating display screen and crane software has been updated to add a menu option for enabling free spool and to display the status of the free spool system. Start the crane. As a functionality, free spool will be disabled upon crane restart. Navigate now to the free spool enable screen by selecting the free spool enable menu item. For enabling the free spool, we need to have three conditions satisfied. The engine must be running, the operator must be in the seat, and drum tree must be on park for the free spool to be enabled by the crane. Free spool is enabled. Once free spool feature is enabled, it will show an orange circle on the drum tree icon to indicate that the system is enabled. While in the free spool enabled mode, the CCS will allow drum tree to automatically pay out line as the weight of the hammer is used to start pushing the pile into the ground. Again, please note there is a limit weight for the total system weights, pile, hammer and all the rigging. Activation of the free spool. The free spool activation switch, it is installed in the right hand console assembly and will consist of a two-position momentary switch. After enabling the free spool via the main operating display, press and release the switch to activate free spool function. In the active state, the CCS control system will open the free spool valve to allow drum tree to automatically pay out line as the pile is driven. The CCS system will prevent a runaway pile from exceeding the maximum allowable motor speeds by modulating the valve as required. The CCS will also prevent activation of the Free-Spool if there is significant tension in the drum tree line. For the Free-Spool valve to run, the shutoff valve must be in the run position. The control valve is installed between the drum tree motor and the standard load holding valve. It allows a variable amount of oil to recirculate within the motor as commanded by the crane control system. When Free-Spool is active, the drum tree control handle functions as a limiter on the maximum operating of the Free-Spool control valve. When Free-Spool is not active, when the crane is in standard mode or in Free-Spool enabled modes, the handle functions normally. In the enabled state, the CCS will allow drum tree to automatically pay out line when the drum 1 or 2 hammer line is lowering. When drum 1 or 2 are either in the neutral or raising states, the Free-Spool valve will close and drum 3 will function as a full power drum. The CCS will disable Free-Spool and will also prevent Free-Spool enabling if any of those 3 conditions are met. Drum 3 is parked, the operator leaves the seat, or if the engine is shut down. The faulty conditions will show up on the Free-Spool enable screen. Correct the conditions and then re-enable Free-Spool. To deactivate the Free-Spool, press and release the switch again to deactivate Free-Spool. If Free-Spool is disabled, it will also be automatically deactivated and will need to be reactivated after it's re-enabled. The sleep setting is used to adjust the weight of the pile that can be held until the hammer pushes against it. If the hammer line handle is in neutral or raising state, drum 3 will function as a full power drum. Please refer to the crane documentation for more details on adjusting the sleep setting values. Adjusting the sleep percent. This adjustment only needs to be done initially if the weight of the pile changes significantly or if drum 3 isn't paying out at the proper rate. Setting the sleep settings to 0%. If this functionality is not desired, set the sleep settings to 0% and drum 3 will function as a full power drum regardless of the state of the hammer line. Again, for more details on what are the values to be adjusted, please consult the crane documentation. This is the end of the MLC100-1 and MLC150-1 Drum 3 free spooling setting overview garage video. Thank you for watching.